The U.S. Department of Agriculture is calling this the worst drought in a generation, causing major problems for Wisconsin farmers. We have team coverage now next at 6. Jessica Arp caught up with a farmer trying to bring water to his crops.
And meteorologist Bob Lesh has the latest outlook on the weather. But let's start with Jessica. She's on the backyard patio. Jess.
Well, not every farmer is lucky enough to be next to a water source, but for those who are, they're trying to use what's there to fight back against Mother Nature's lack of help. Cutting their way through kohlrabi and cabbage, Ed and Diane Westra are thankful for every head of produce they have to harvest after pumping from a retention pond for weeks.
Where you can see the edge of where the longer grass is, it was at least that high.
But what's there has nearly run out.
We actually dug the pond in 1989 after we had been through the drought of '88. And so we had the emergency permit that year and decided that we would go with something so if that ever happened again, we'd be prepared.
News 3 was actually there when the pond was dug because of mammoth bones found buried there years ago. Now, mammoth produce literally is up a creek. The Westras getting the first permit in the state to pump water from a nearby drainage ditch into their pond.
It's a great blessing, yeah. Without that, we wouldn't even be able to plant what we planted because there's no way it would survive.
So far, 10 to 15 farms have requested similar permits from the DNR.
We've been really dry for a really long time. So if you're needing to irrigate a smaller area, there's a chance that maybe it could help. If it's a very large area and maybe the resource can only support so much water being taken out, that water may not be sufficient to help at all.
For a new cabbage patch, the water may just be the ticket to keeping something alive.
It's a little process and a lot of monitoring.
A lot of work that will still likely lead to a crop loss on the year.
Probably not real great, but this is at least better than nothing. And so we'll just be thankful for what we get and keep praying for rain.
Now, while the Westras are trying to save some of their produce, they're having to let about 30 acres of corn that they planted that you saw in those pictures there without tassels on it, having to let it just go because they don't have enough water nor the equipment to be able to water the corn there. The DNR plans to continue site visits for those folks who have requested those irrigation permits over the next week, and hopefully it will help some as this drought continues.
Exactly. Hopefully they'll find a way. Thanks, Jess.